talking with Coach Darin Hinshaw. Let me ask you this up front, because Eric talked to you last year about this. It was a thing. We've since seen it come to fruition on the field. Your work with John Rhys Plumlee last year had a lot more touch on the football year 2 versus year 1. I think I'm speaking correctly there. Let me get your authority. You kind of noticed that happen with him, right?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah.
So I asked that question. That having happened on the field, is that something you could take to recruits, or KJ, for example? Hey, listen, I had John Rhys, he started this way. I got him to figure out how to throw this way. Is that something you kind of talk to recruits about, when you're looking at quarterbacks? Say, hey, listen, this is how I can help you. Is that something that you can kind of use your resume to help you recruit?
Oh yeah, and I've been coaching quarterbacks for a long time, so obviously I go way back from all the quarterbacks I've coached, but John Rhys especially, he had a willingness about him to want to get better. And when I got here last year, I saw the film, I saw what he had been doing, his weight transfer, his movement in the pocket, what he was thinking in his mind as far as his progression reads and all those things that he was doing. But they weren't all meshing together. It was, look at the first thing, if something with the offensive line doesn't feel right, I'm going to go run and I'm going to go do it myself. And we really, from January all the way through to the beginning of the year, really worked on the fact of playing quarterback and sitting in the pocket and distributing the ball. And that's our job. Our job is to get the ball to playmakers, and that's what we did last year. And really worked on his footwork and understanding that his footwork is the most important thing. That's the lifeblood of a quarterback, and being able to use that, and then also to not focus on the defense, not and trust where the routes are going to be. And there's times in different routes concepts that we have to look to see what the routes are doing, but to trust to really focus on the defense, trust where your receivers are going to be, and then focus on that and let the offensive line do their job. And he did a very good job last year of doing that and transitioning and going from his progressions and seeing what the coverage was doing defensively to be able to distribute the ball.
So with that in mind, I know it's been a short time. You've had summer, you've had this part of fall camp. We're just approaching scrimmage 1. Is the process starting smoothly with KJ? What's something you've seen that off the bat he's like, yes, he's starting to get this?
Yeah, and we're installing the offense right now in training camp, and we have Coach Malzahn has a way of how he installs the offense, and we've been very good at offense. He's been very good at offense all throughout the years, and this offense is proven to do that. And the quarterback position is the lifeblood. We give the keys to the offense, and the quarterbacks have a lot of reads, a lot of situations in front of them. So, it was great that KJ was here in January, and we've gone all the way through this. He's feeling more and more comfortable with the offense. Really pleased with the first 3 days of practice, the first 3 practices, and we're only 3 practices into it. And I'm excited where he's at. And the thing that he does that's really, really good is his escapability and being able to create with the ball also. And that's something as coaches we don't necessarily just program or anything. We have plays designed, and we everything to beat defenses and to do these things. But he brings that to the table of the escapability, and again our scramble drills that we are working right now. You can just see the whole offense getting around that, which is a play within a play. And KJ's been doing very well with that. All the quarterbacks have, and we got to continue to do that. But I'm excited where we are. We got to continue to install the offense. We got a scrimmage coming up here in practice 6, and it'll be be fun to go out there and go execute.
From a mechanical standpoint, with KJ, who's been accustomed to playing with his mechanics a certain way and has had success, as a coach, how do you find that balance of this is things that work for him, but on the other hand, you might see some things that you can tweak that make him better? How do you balance that out, but not mess it, not do too much to where it can throw him off?
Right, and that's the, with an older guy, and John Rhys was an older guy, but he's also knew that he had some fixing to do to become a quarterback, and he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, so he did a really good job. But KJ has a lot of qualities that you don't want to crack, and he's a weapon. He's a weapon running the football. He's a weapon with vertical passing game. He's been very successful doing that. So there's some things that we are tweaking, but very minute things, and just to make him better. And he knows what those are, and we're working on them right now. And we're going to make him the best quarterback that he possibly can be when we go play our first game.
You know, you're talking earlier about baking KJ kind of into it too, and this is a group under you guys as coaches that have managed to turn over offensive lines with pretty good skill. You know, getting that chemistry in. Everybody talks about linemen and chemistry, but if you could add a little insight on how important the quarterback finding that chemistry with his offensive line is, that's a huge part of it, right?
No, it's a huge part of it, and it's finding the quarterback position always has to find chemistry with his running backs. He has to find chemistry with the receivers. He has to find chemistry with the tight ends. Chemistry with the offensive line is a must. And the offensive line, big men lead the way. I mean, that's your lifeblood of your offense, is those front five. And there's no doubt that he's been doing that. And his leadership skills, he's an older guy. He's been in wars. He's been in a lot of games. And he's hungry, but he's also humble. He's not a guy that's saying I've arrived or anything. He's trying to get better every single day, and he knows what he can go do, and he's trying to perfect the offense, which I love. He's trying to do everything that Coach Malzahn says. He's listening to me and everything that I say, and he's a leader. He's a leader in the quarterback room. He's a leader with the offense, and he's doing extra film work right now with the receivers after 3 practices, and he's watching Skelly with them, going, this is, so we're all on the same page, and it's fun to see it all come together.
You know, I got to add this too as a real quick thing that I thought was funny. I was talking to KJ earlier. He's got to be the first person who saw his Madden rating and said, that's better than I thought it was. Have you seen anything like that before? That's new to me.
Well, you know, and all those things and everything are fun and exciting, but he also is a humble guy, you know, and that's what I love about him, is that he doesn't come into the building and, you know, say anything in the fact that, you know, he's the guy and all. Like, you guys, we have to get better today. And I got to get better today. We all got to get better today, and let's perfect this thing. And that's his attitude, and it's a great attitude. And he comes across with his, you know, a lot of his facial expressions as mean, but he's got a kind heart, and he loves his teammates, and you can tell that. And he's constantly going up to all the young kids, whether they're receivers or tight ends, and he's going up to them and encouraging them. And that's what you want in your quarterback. You want a guy that's a leader, and that's why he's a team captain. And it's exciting to see where we're going with this.
You know, this team has had a lot of issues, you know, not that there's any control you necessarily have over it, with starters getting hurt throughout the season at various points. Is there an element of comfort seeing KJ Jefferson walk out to the field and looking like a linebacker that, hey, just maybe we'll get some more health and have a healthy quarterback for a longer portion of the season? Yeah,
and, you know, the thing about that is, you know, you always, you know, pray for good health and the whole deal with everything, but he is a beast. He's a big human being. He is the biggest quarterback that I've coached, and he's very, very strong, has an extremely strong arm, got a great touch on the ball. But, you know, I don't think of it like that. My job is to get everybody ready to play if their number's called in the room, and that's my job, and that's what we're doing, and we're preparing everybody for when they get their opportunity, they go and they're ready to go play.
Well, and expand on that, because I remember we talked about that last year, that your goal is to have every quarterback ready on game day if their number's called.
That's right.
You're one snap away.
That's right.
You know it as well as anybody. So tell us a little bit about the rest of the quarterbacks that maybe you're not being asked about, but could play a big role this year if their name's called upon.
There's no doubt. So the quarterback that has been here is John Rhys, and, you know, he's a redshirt freshman, still has 4 years to go, but he has progressed what we wanted to see him do. As far as, you know, he knows the offense probably as good as anybody because he's been around the longest. So I'm excited to see him continue to progress with his reps and everything that he does in the offense. And then Jakari Brown, who just got here. You know, he's played 250 snaps at Miami. So he does have game experience. He's played in wars. He's played in the game. he is. I'm very excited about him. We did running 10s, and he was the third fastest on the team. And he's 230 pounds, and he has a cannon. And him is just now, and I love he's humble, and he wants to learn, and he's excited with where we're going, and our relationship has gotten off to a great start because he's thriving for coaching. He's thriving to get better every single day, and you've seen him from practice 1 to practice 3 get better. And so he just needs reps in the offense, and we're going to continue to install the offense as we go, but I'm excited where he is. And then we have EJ Colson, who just got here, and EJ Colson has been to 3 state championships. Should really still be he should still be in high school right now, because he skipped his senior year. But he's shown a lot of progression in the offense, and he has an it factor that's it's very high. And Riley Trujillo is he's been here since January, and his skill set is exactly what we want. He can run, he can throw, and the biggest thing is that we got a quarterback room that I'm very excited about, and to get them all ready to play. And obviously we'll figure out the depth chart exactly how we're going to do it as these guys are all competing, and they're all going to compete all the way to the first game. And it's and I've told them that, and that's what Coach Malzahn has been preaching. And KJ is great in the room. I can't tell you, he asks all the right questions, he answers all the questions, he has the answer sometimes before I can even finish the question. So you got a senior who's a leader that's there, and you got a lot of quarterbacks that I'm very excited about the room.
Let me ask this because we were talking to Coach Gus earlier, and it seems he's kind of morphing his role again, getting more hands-on. How does that make your job different in kind of the day-to-day?
Well, the thing, Coach Malzahn has been an unbelievable offensive coach and a great quarterback coach. He's handled, obviously had Cam Newton, and so he also is the head coach, so he's got to do a lot of head coaching things, and I'm right there with him. He's a lot of times in my meetings, and he's running the offense, he's doing everything, he's explaining the reads, he's explaining everything. Then when he needs to leave, I detail it just as much, and I repeat everything that he says out of his mouth and exactly how he wants it. And then I also, I go with the quarterbacks, and there's the mental part of the game, and every quarterback's different, how they handle negative situations and all those things that come about at playing the quarterback. And you can't be too high and you can't be too low, and you've got to be that your mentality has got to be where it's solid and firm. And again, that's what I work on constantly with these guys is, guys, when you get in the game, what are you going to do? Okay, and then be able to go execute the offense.
Last question for me, and I'm just curious because you've been here for a bit, had some coaching games under your belt here. Is there a favorite moment you have here, be it on, off the field, whatever? What's your favorite UCF moment here coaching this year?
Oh, I mean, there's obviously the moments on the field back in the day when we played in the Citrus Bowl, and building this program and where we were, and the facilities that we were in, which the carpet wasn't even the same color, and on the whole building and the whole deal there over at Wayne Dench. And to see where we are now is very exciting. And obviously as a coach, we want to go win a Big 12 championship. And last year we had some close games that we should have won, and like we said, we have a chip on our shoulder right now, and that chip on our shoulder is to go finish the right way, one game at a time, and I'm excited. And the staff is very, very close, and the bonding of our players is huge right now. And we do have a lot of transfers and different guys that came in, but they have done a great job, and I truly believe they really like each other, and that's huge in where we are right now. But that's where my head is right now. I'm focused on a daily basis, and it's like Groundhog Day around here, so we do the same thing over and over and over. But you gotta, through the madness and everything that's going on with that, be excited about building a program on a daily basis, and that's what we're doing.
How does it feel to have Sean Beckton back here now, coming as an analyst, huh?
Yeah, when Coach announced it, Sean was sitting behind me. I didn't even know he was in the room. And he goes, "It's exciting to have Sean Beckton here." And I went, Sean's here? I'm like, where is he? And then I turn around and there's Sean, look right there. And I was like, but yeah. So when I was a freshman, he was a senior. And so we got to be on the same team together. And then obviously he came back and coached and got to coach with me through all the games we played. He's won 4 championships as a coach, and it's so blessed to have him here.
Sean is going to do the same thing, like basically when you came in here, worked with the defense?
Yes, in 21, he's going to be the defensive analyst, and he's going to do that role and help Ted Roof, and like I did with Travis Williams when I was here. And I put in, I told him the ropes, and this is what I did, exactly what I did, and how it helped the defense, and he's excited about it, and he's excited about the role. But it's so good to just see him walking around the building. And
I actually saw him over there in the other building just about an hour ago, and he said that you're really mentoring them big.
Yeah. Well, Sean's also has a lot of experience coaching. He's got a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and he's feeling out the ropes and everything because he just got here, but he's going to do a great job. I know he is.
My last question, they honored the 94 men's basketball team against Iowa State Pass during the basketball season. What was it like to be around those guys and Kirk being back, Kirk Sparrow being back on campus?
It was awesome. We had a get together the night before, and to be able to see all those guys, and to all the stories and some guys are bigger than what they used to be, and they can't run the court like they used to, but it was awesome to be able to see them and what was accomplished, and I was just blessed to be a part of it.